And, I think I heard BT say yesterday, or somebody said it yesterday, like, would this be going on if it were not the Giants or the Jets in this area?
Yeah, I heard BT say that. It was a good point. So he goes, if Tommy DeVito were the quarterback for the Houston Texans, would this Italian thing be a thing? And the answer is no. So then it hit me. It's like, it's not so much the Italian thing as it is the Jersey Italian-American thing. Yeah. It's not like he came over like this guy is like Vespucci Ferragamo and he came over from Italy and he's like, Buongiorno, NFL. Yeah. He's not doing that.
Right.
It's more of it's this area.
And plus he's
indigenous to this area.
Yeah, plus he's the hometown kid.
Right, right.
And he's a kid. He literally is a kid. And he's living his best life right now. And like you were saying, I think it was 3 weeks ago, you should be sliding into all these DMs, these models' DMs.
I'm changing my mind on that now.
You are now.
I'm changing my mind.
Okay, but anyway, the point being is that,
although I do have a couple suggestions, Petey.
fame is fleeting in the NFL for a number of players. And, the quarterback position is incredibly intense. It's very hard. I've always told you that. And you got to continue to do it. You got to keep fighting through it. You got to know your stuff. The coach has got to believe in you. They can't, always hold back the game plan. They're trying to give him what he does well and what he does best. That's the great aspect of coaching. You try to put the kid in the best possible position to be successful. And, the more games you play, the more you see, the more people see you on tape, the more then they could tailor their defense to some of the things that you have shown a propensity to do on tape. That's why that's such an important thing when now all of a sudden they have 3.5 games worth of tape on him. And they can look at him and say, okay, when he breaks the pocket, this is what he likes to do. This is, if he's going to drop back and we're playing man coverage, he's going to take off and run. All these little things that they'll be able to figure out and try to work into their game plan to try to make his life a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, and I think that the point that I continue to make is people are expecting him to fall off the face of the earth because of the things that you're talking about. All right, there's more tape on him. The longer he plays, the more he can get exposed. He's an undrafted rookie free agent, all of these things. But what if he gets better? There have been guys who have gotten better. I know it's few and far between, and generally when you have a third-string quarterback play, if he plays well, it doesn't last very long. But there have been guys like Tom Brady, there have been guys like Brock Purdy who have gotten better, who were good right away and then continued to grow and get better. And I think Tommy DeVito also has the head coach to help him do that. But you experienced coming home and playing at home. Now, it's a little different than Tommy DeVito because
I was 32.
And you went to a Super Bowl. You were a national name at that point. So it wasn't like people all of a sudden found out about who you were. But, playing at home is a different deal. And I remember talking to Neil Walker, who was a Pittsburgh Pirate at the time, came here to play with the Mets. He was the hometown kid, went to Pine Richland High School out there. Everybody knew who he was. And then he was the second baseman for the Pirates, and he was an all-star. And it was just overwhelming. It's like everybody needed something from him. He was just the Pittsburgh kid. He's our guy and it's great. And it's a great story. But there's things you have to deal with when you are home that you don't have to deal with if you're the quarterback of, the Denver Broncos.
Or the Cincinnati Bengals, for that matter.
Exactly, yeah.
Right, so I remember when Vinny Testaverde did come here, and I think I was retired by that time. I told Vinny, I said, the biggest problem you're going to have is not that you're playing at home. It's going to be, the people around you who may hear people criticize you, or if you have a bad game, somebody may say something. And those people are going to go to great lengths to protect you because they love you and they want to support you, but they're also going to be bringing it to you. So if they read something that they believe is negative in the newspaper, or they hear something on this radio station back in the day, they would tell you about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he hasn't experienced that yet.
No, Tommy DeVito hasn't experienced that. Eventually, that will get to a point where, there'll be the detractors. You know what I mean? That's just going to happen. It's just going to be a natural kind of progression to that point. If, he's not going to play every game great, they're not going to win every game.
Yeah.
So there are going to be games where he's not going to play well and they're going to lose. And then you just got to wonder, is Brian Daboll believe that this is a legitimate future for the Giants, or is this just a short kind of like microburst of success that they're having, due in large part to how well their defense is playing and the fact that he's not turning the ball over?
Yeah, and I think this is the perfect type of game next for Tommy DeVito. It's almost like it's a video game, and you go up to the next level, and the next level is a little bit harder. And it's not the hardest yet. It's not the one where you topple whatever the monster is at the end, which is the Philadelphia Eagles, but it's the next level up, which is you're playing a team in their building, in a dome, with a loud fan base that is in the playoff hunt and needs to win a game and is desperate, and you have to go in there and beat them in their building.
Yeah, and I think the Saints are probably around 12th or 13th in defense, so this is not like a bottom third defense. This is a top two-third defense, and their defense has been a little bit of a problem, but it's really been their offense that has been unable to score and put up a lot of points consistently that has cost them games. And that's maybe where the Giant defense comes in here again, and maybe they can get after Derek Carr and they can force him into mistakes or, a bad throw on third down that forces a field goal. So that's the kind of season that the Saints have had. I think they've had one or two reasonably decent offensive days, and everything else has been a slogfest. So, maybe the Giants catch a little lightning in a bottle from their defensive side and take some of the pressure off of Tommy. But Tommy he'll see it now. He'll feel it, and this will not be an easy game. And if he comes back and he throws 3 touchdown passes, throws for 300 yards, then good. Then the story continues, and we're going to take it all the way into Christmas.
Man, I can't even imagine what it would be like here. We have talked so negatively. Can you imagine coming here and the Giants are 2-8? What that's going to be like, and we experience that if we come in here on Monday morning and Tommy DeVito has a great game against the Saints and the Giants win again. We'll spend a little bit of time on what happened at Boomer and Gio Live. It'll be another 4 hours on Tommy DeVito. That's what's going to happen.
Well, you also have Zach Wilson going again, and this time against the Dolphins. And to me, that's still a big story. Every time he steps on the field, it's a big story for the Jets fan, and to see whether or not he can do what he did last week.
Yeah, but it feels to me like it's over with him, even if he ended up going on a little bit of a run down the stretch. But it feels like this has to end for both parties. Just like we're talking about with Bill Belichick and the Patriots, totally different situation, but you feel like it has to end. This is the time. You got to go your separate ways. Something you can't do what you did this year all over again next year, meaning Zach Wilson being the backup to Aaron Rodgers. You can't.
Right. I also want to clarify something, that there was something that was written saying that I said a certain thing for Zach Wilson, and it was completely wrong.
Oh, where was this now? One of these weird Jet subtext Reddit things that somehow pop up in your feed?
Yeah, but no, this is a legitimate fan site. They didn't. It was nothing negative about what I said. But
Zach Wilson sucks.
No, it wasn't anything negative about what I said. It's just that they got my words twisted. And do you remember I came in here and I said, Phil Simms thinks that Zach Wilson's going to go to the Kansas City Chiefs?
Yes.
Right. That was not my prediction. That was his prediction.
Oh, okay.
Right. I have my own prediction.
Yeah, that he's going to the Vikings.
Yeah,
right.
Just to annoy you. And plus, I'm wearing my purple today for you.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay. So, and I just felt like I just wanted to straighten that out, that my prediction is that he is going to the Vikings. Phil Simms, as I said correctly, but somebody misheard, thinking that it was my prediction that he was going to go to the Chiefs. Phil thinks he would be better off going to the Chiefs.
Well, one thing you're agreeing on is that he's not going to be a New York Jet.
Right, we both feel that way, yes.
So that's why it's different with Zach Wilson and continuing to play. And yeah, it is still a story, but I think the bigger story is Aaron Rodgers going to force his way onto the field next week with the Washington Commanders? Because then once that's gone, the window is closed, and you're not going to see him. And I still am not fully convinced that he's not going to go out and try to do it just to say that he did it.
All right, so you're telling me that you think...
I don't. Hold on. See, now you're twisting my words.
All right. I don't want to twist your words.
I don't think he should. I don't think...
No, but you think he will.
I think that there is still a chance.
No.
There's still a chance that he wants to prove to everybody that he can do this. Even if he goes out there and plays like a quarter and is like,
got a long way to go, my man.
He's a stubborn guy.
Yeah, I understand that, man. You can't be snapping that thing. So much is riding. By the way, so much is riding on this.
Yeah.
That if the Jets had gotten to the playoffs and maybe they somehow got to the end of January, maybe then I could see that happening. but not in the month of December. And the fact that the Jets are not going to the playoffs.
Like, if Zach Wilson plays well again, do you really think the conversation continues about him remaining a New York Jet? Because I don't think. I think what it does is like maybe his trade value goes up a little bit. He can't be here.
Yeah, the Vikings
can't have him here.
Vikings will give a third-round pick.
Oh, my God, stop. Please. I want to see exactly where this was written because I get a kick out of you somehow get these things sent to you or whatever, and it's like some site that's like the biggest fakakta site
in the world. It's not a fakakta site.
It's like jetsfakakta.org.
It wasn't like they said anything negative about me. It's just that they said Boomer has a prediction for Zach Wilson that he's going to Kansas City. And I was like, no, that's Phil's. I brought that to the show because that was Phil's prediction. My prediction, he's going to Minnesota.
Yeah. It's actually Odyssey. Who put it out there?
Well, there you go.
Boomer could see Zach Wilson being traded to the Chiefs. It's our own website.
Oh, okay, well, they're wrong then.
That's where it is. But in the body of the thing, it says that he believes Phil Simms' belief.
Yeah,
Boomer believes. You're wrong. Boomer believes.
You're wrong.
Phil Simms believes. And then there was another one. Cougar Nation? Cougar Board.
That would be BYU, right?
Cougar Board.
It's not the Cougar that you think. It's the Cougars of BYU.
Yeah. So Cougar Board.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm sure you're popular on multiple Cougar boards.
Yeah, okay.
Cougar Board.
Okay. All right.
There's a link to this now. And now it goes to NJ.com. Ooh. So that's a legit place.
Okay.
That's from Jimmy Haskup of NJ.com.
What does Jimmy Haskup say?
He's going to end. Wow. Yeah, this is they screwed this one up. But they say per Odyssey in this, so they're just ripping off Odyssey.
Everybody's ripping off Odyssey stuff.
So it says he's going to end up in Kansas City with Andy Reid, Esiason said on Monday on WFAN. Andy Reid's going to pick him up, take him off the scrap heap, and turn him into a quarterback.
In the eyes of Phil Simms.
Yeah, there you go. So
I think that Kevin O'Connell's going to take him off the scrap heap and turn it into a quarterback in Minnesota.
You know, something very interesting.
That
now I'm agreeing with Phil. Mormon connection.
Yeah, I understand that. Yes.
Mormon spot.
Mormon spot.
Latter-day Saints spot.
Okay.
Huh?
All right.
Huh?
Okay.
Don't you think that's the thing? Like, didn't Frank get all his Jesus friends together down there in Carolina?
I don't know.
Didn't he?
I'm sure he had a few of them. Sure, he had a few of those that are like-minded. Yes.
And then David Tepper fired all the Jesus guys.
I
Isn't that what happened?
I don't know. Wouldn't it be nice that if you had a job, you'd want some like-minded people around you? Thanks so much for watching the video.
Please like and subscribe.
And don't forget to hit the bell so you're notified when we're dropping new content.